Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. This is our classic trash omelet. Trash salad.
Trash salad omelet. Leftover salad from yesterday.
Exactly.
It's really good.
It's been a minute since we did a podcast.
Yep.
You know, we just kind of do it. Okay, we have something to talk about. We watch something. Something's in the news.
I'm not promising that.
Oh, well, that's true. That's a good point. No, but sometimes, like yesterday, we got talking about, I don't remember what it was we were talking about in the morning, but it was like, oh my God, this so should have been a podcast.
Because we have really interesting conversations every morning.
I love that about us. It makes us so awesome, doesn't it?
They're interesting to us. They're entertaining to us.
Mm-hmm. Well,
first text of the morning.
What's happening?
Nothing. I'm always curious what's going to be the first text I get. It used to, like, if it was something I didn't want to hear, it used to make me mad. Now, I'm just like, oh, there's an opportunity to do something.
This is because you are developing as a person, Tracy. You had your birthday.
I did. Oh, I loved my birthday. Since we drove home and I was forced to be like on a break for 16 hours, I hadn't really taken any time off. Mm-hmm. And like, really?
He insisted on a piece of that sausage.
It was nice to force myself to not work.
Mm-hmm.
You even said at one point, hey, you're getting dangerously close to working.
You had your birthday and we went out, we did some sushi and you got a bunch of...
we hung some of my grandfather's paintings. He was an amazing self-taught artist and he gave me lots of pieces. We hung some art. We did a little art project. We went to this big thrift store and found lots of stuff for you. Someone on Facebook commented that you said... she bought me clothes for her birthday. And someone commented, she bought you clothes last year for her birthday. What did you get her?
You enjoy dressing me like a Ken doll.
I enjoy dressing you.
Which is fine. I'm totally fine with that.
I don't think it's...
And it was a great jacket. You know how it's a great jacket? When someone walks up to you and touches it and goes, that's nice. And that's what they did.
Yeah,
that's what they did. That's nice. Yeah.
Nice jacket.
Nice. I like that. Ooh.
And like, I bought stuff for the house. I mean, all buying of things, is something that I enjoy. It doesn't have to be just for me.
Right. Exactly. It's the act of buying and shopping and stuff like that you find fun. Mm-hmm. We watched a movie last night, and the house in this movie got wrecked. Maybe people have heard about it. I think it has a bad title.
Yeah.
No One Can Save You. They wanted to have a title that was going to sort of connote something that, it was very ominous and everything. I don't think it's a No One Can Save You movie.
Well, I really liked it. It was freaking me out a lot. You're running and hiding. Mm-hmm. You pointed out she stopped and hid a lot. Mm-hmm. Which, why don't you just keep running?
The logic of whenever she would get away and then stop and then look around. It was all of these sort of resets, so that they could set up for the next sort of moment and that type of thing.
That was a little tedious.
It felt a little obvious, yeah. The other kind of tedious thing about it was that it had almost zero dialogue. Actually, it could have had zero dialogue. They purposefully, about almost to the end of the movie, had her say something, just so they wouldn't say, oh, there was no dialogue in this.
What did she say? I don't remember.
I'm sorry, Maud. She said it twice. As a viewer, you were kind of you were waiting, and you were like, oh, how are they going to avoid her talking here? It's like, oh, this is one long shot. This is no dialogue. It starts to be more about the filmmaking than the film for me.
Well, I feel like she had stopped talking.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because of this thing that happened. When other people were around and they didn't talk, I don't know.
By the way, a couple of seconds ago, I said that she was mute. She's not moot. She's mute.
She's mute.
Exactly. If she was moot.
She's mute. She's mute. She's mute.
She's in my head. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what happened?
I sang on the podcast.
See what happens? Well, presidents of the United States of America, sometimes you can't resist them. But yes, she was moot to the town, who had sort of ignored her because
Yeah, they hated her.
Yes, because of what she had done. No One Can Save You. Very enjoyable. Lots of different kinds of aliens, but they were all kind of in the same species, which was kind of interesting.
I mean, something that we didn't really even notice was the effects. Mm-hmm. They were great.
They were.
I didn't sit there going, oh, this is cheap.
It was a movie that was on Hulu that probably should have been in theaters.
I don't know about that.
Really? Well, how do you determine that?
Maybe a few.
What, a few theaters?
Yeah.
You can be in like 7 theaters.
Who knows? It may have had a limited theatrical, but yeah, I just don't think it really would appeal to mass audience.
Well, I think there was a time that it would have appealed to more of a mass audience. Mm-hmm. But now that streaming is available and everything. It's also by the writer and director of like Love and Monsters, which was really enjoyable, and Underwater. And he seems to do sort of like the action thriller thing really, really well. Mm-hmm. Kudos to him. Hopefully he doesn't get scooped up by Star Wars or Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
Where you're never making anything else but what they want you to make.
He'll be doing like another Aquaman movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Talk about a movie I do not give a fuck about. The new Aquaman trailer. 100%. Do not care. Jason Momoa may not be a very good actor.
Well, yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Aquaman is really like him.
Mm-hmm. But he was Conan, who I love. Conan is a great character, and that was a terrible movie.
He hasn't figured out how to like be The Rock yet.
Yeah, well, he hasn't landed in that like, rom-com vein or, something to kind of, soften him up.
He needs to do one of those like daddy daycare
He needs
movies.
a Jumanji.
Oh.
You gotta get a Jumanji.
I love the new Jumanji movies.
Oh, there are. They're awesome. They're awesome. They are
Jack Black in the new Jumanji movies. Oh my gosh.
So funny. Actually, the last one was really good because they were sort of doing impersonations of the different characters. Seeing The Rock do Danny DeVito was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Love that.
WGA may have a contract.
Yeah, it's like so secretive. Nobody is saying anything about it. Mm-hmm. Why are they being so secretive and not releasing the details?
I understand why they're being so secretive.
Oh.
Well, imagine, if you will, part of the details come out. In other words, if you don't control the release of exactly how you want it to come out, what you want to be able to say about it, then it's going to be kind of all over the internet. There are obviously going to be people who are not happy about the contract. They're gonna want more. There are people on my Facebook groups, writers, who say that they're expecting checks from this. They never did big shows. They never, they were never involved. They're talking about like back pay residuals for things from 10 years. Just stupid stuff. And that is going to be a segment of the populace. So you really have to control how this thing comes out so that they get the deal signed.
If they're abiding by the rules that both parties have agreed to up to that point, then I don't see how you would get back. Except unless it could be proven that they had done it in bad faith, maybe.
Or that they had not followed the same rules.
Right. They had not been following the rules.
Right.
Or they had been cheating people by not sending payment. Now, if you had worked on a film, and this would be more of an actor, but if you had worked on a film and you were supposed to get paid, up to 60 to 90 days afterwards, and it's been hundreds and hundreds of days and you haven't been paid, it's possible that those people will have to come into currency on their books before they could go into distribution. And I definitely feel that way. No, you shouldn't be spending money on film festivals. You shouldn't be spending money on any of that stuff until the people who made it have been paid.
100%.
Yeah, and at every level, like you shouldn't be pursuing film festivals if your post-production team has not been paid yet. You shouldn't be spending money forward.
Right.
Unless you're current with the people who are working with you.
Well, I feel like that is something that happens all the time now. In capitalist society, people are borrowing your money and then returning it to you. And having the money, they're actually collecting interest. For example, we're having the whole issue with the toll thing, where you, with Easy Pass, every single time that you go through an Easy Pass, they hold $25.
No, that's not what happens.
That's not what happens. What happens?
Okay, so let's say you go through, what is the bridge? $15 now?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
The GW.
Yeah,
or
GW,
or the tunnel. So it's like $15 to get into Manhattan.
Right.
So what they do is every time you go through that, they insist a $35 like balance be maintained.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But what was happening was, let's say you went through, there's $35 in there. You went through and it was 15 and we went down, right?
Right.
To like 20.
Right.
But the replenishment amount is 35.
Oh, I see. Instead of the replenishment amount being 20.
So I wasn't,
to get you back up to 35.
They weren't charging me a replenishment back to 35. They were charging me a $35 replenishment fee.
Every time there is a replenishment, it's $35. And then, and here's the new bullshit, folks. Okay, so you notice that they don't have anybody at the toll booths anymore. So they just, you just go through.
Jobs.
Right.
Oh, so, they didn't need jobs.
So you just blow through, but it says that if you don't have Easy Pass, you have to call a phone number and to basically not be charged the $50 administration fee. So you're driving down the road, you're trying to...
You have no option.
You have no option. You're trying to call a phone number. You're like putting in your codes and your credit card.
Safe.
Very
Super
safe. Exactly. They're trying to make it as difficult on you as they possibly can.
Yeah. How much interest, or where is that account? That massive Easy Pass account, right? With millions in it.
Oh, yeah.
Millions in it.
Tens of millions.
Where is that? And what's the interest being drawn?
I don't know, man.
Or how is that working? I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like it might be the mob to me.
Well,
when in doubt, it's the mob.
It's just ridiculous.
These are the policies that are set up by corporations to try to drain you, to try to fuck you, to try to control you. And I feel like that is what the WGA and SAG-AFTRA are fighting against, and I think they won.
Well, I'm glad that they won. I mean, SAG does that, where you have to basically show escrow on the amount of money that you would be paying your actors, what you're going to owe at the end, or you can write send a hold amount. Like, I think we only had 1 or 2 SAG actors in a film, and we had to send in a check for $1,200 or something on a small budget when you have a tiny budget.
Oh, yeah.
That's difficult.
Yeah. You're spending more on the administrative fees for SAG than you actually are on the what you're paying the actors. If you're only talking about 1 or 2 people.
Well, I mean, you're kind of having to figure out how are you going to float that amount of money. Because, I mean, this is a very, 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 very small budget I'm talking about.
Right.
If $1,200 represented like 10% of your film, like that's money that you can't be spending somewhere else that's on hold that you're going to get back. We'll just pay that out of pocket so that the film can spend how much the film's budget is and not wait on that reimbursement.
This was all very, very long overdue. That it was ridiculous that the strike had to take this long. I'm curious exactly what was agreed upon. I wonder what happened with AI. I wonder what happened with the writers' rooms as far as the guarantees for, how many people and how many weeks and that type of thing are going to be in the writers' rooms. Honestly, the most important thing is that we get people back to work.
Did Drew Barrymore and...
Boy, did she fuck up. Oh my God. To basically have that much bad press a week
did you see that?
Before the WGA.
Did you see that thing? Hey, if you're looking for a shabby room to do an apology video in.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
You can use MySpace for $5,000 a day.
Exactly. It was like, find the shabbiest place in your palatial mansion to do your apology video.
10 things to make a great apology video. Number 3 would be like, find the shabbiest spot in your house.
It would
I think number 1 was don't wear makeup.
That's true.
Which I don't mind. Or if you do wear makeup, make sure to wear pink around your eyes.
Thanks to our sponsor, Movie Mode Merch, the graphic t-shirt store to outfit you for your next film set. Be the person wearing the t-shirt everyone asks, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Cast and crew alike love these inside jokes and filmmaking-inspired designs. Check them out on Insta at Movie Mode Merch.
Honestly, we get the feeling sometimes that because somebody is famous or because somebody is...
Number 2, fill the room with diced onions.
We think that they might be smart. We think that, they must have something going on. And what happened with Drew Barrymore was these people were being stupid. They were not playing out how this was going to come off. They were being idiotic.
I'm sure they submitted to certain pressures. I'm sure they submitted to certain threats. I'm sure they all wanted to go back to work and
well,
get
if you submit to stupid pressure, you're stupid.
You know, it also sucks. Like everybody else who's not in that union is getting hurt by it too and not making money.
Who are the people that I am standing next to? If I disagree with the people that I'm standing next to, I'm on the wrong side. Okay, I'm on the wrong side of things. So if if there's a situation in your life where you are agreeing with assholes, that makes you an asshole. Bill Maher and Drew Barrymore basically coming out a week before
a resolution
just so they could just shit in the middle of the road and then people to point at their shit.
If that was like a move to like, okay, let's get Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher, everybody loves them. Let's get them back up and running and that'll help us negotiate because they'll be up and running. That really backfired.
No. It definitely wasn't a move. It was, okay, so from Drew Barrymore's perspective, she had 3 WGA writers on her staff. That's all.
Right.
Okay. So she was like, or basically her people were like, we could probably just be back up because there were only 3 writers, that were WGA and the fact that we're a quote news program. It was like, okay, we're really a news program and there were only 3 WGA writers. So we really can start our show again and we can take advantage of the fact that all these other shows are off the air.
Right.
The optics and the way that everybody has supported this strike, you don't get on the wrong side.
If this was an opportunity to create something for future strikes, because there's, if the AMPTP continues to act this way, there's going to be future strikes.
There very well could be.
And with technology and evolution of technology, there's going to be future strikes. Right. We don't know what whenever this negotiation has run its course, we don't know what the next technology might look like.
Holodecks.
It might be. Oh, I wish. It might.
How quickly, if a holodeck did exist, would you commit a sex act?
Not quickly at all.
No, that wouldn't be like your first go-to. No. There's a holodeck and I can have sex with a virtual. No, you wouldn't.
No, I would rather like make them scratch my back or give me a massage.
Instead of having sex with Lincoln, you're getting Abe
Lincoln?
What?
Why?
I don't know.
Did you choose Abe Lincoln for me?
Well, he's pretty famous.
Okay, well, in that case, why don't you do Mary Todd?
Whatever you're into, man. She I hear she was a freak.
I think she was very disturbed, probably. Yeah, I don't know why I got Abe Lincoln. Of all the...
I was just thinking
attractive
of
people that it could be.
I wasn't thinking of being attractive. Well, first of all, okay, I'm thinking of like a really famous person who obviously
looks like you
could not exist. Well, I did play Abe Lincoln in a short film once.
Should you have?
No, I really shouldn't. No, it was not. Don't look for it, folks. Don't look for me as Abe Lincoln. No,
I don't think you would find it.
No, that's funny if somebody would find it somewhere.
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe. Well, I still think there's a lot to come out.
Oh, the point that I was trying to make was,
I'm sorry.
In future,
when
we're writing contracts and stuff, and like, let's say you're the Drew Barrymore show and you're writing contracts, I think you should write in, as long as a strike goes on, the pay don't stop.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And if it's hurting them...
Well, you had made a really excellent suggestion. You had said Drew Barrymore should have said that she was starting her show again, but she was going to start paying those 3 writers. at the same time so that they could afford to strike longer.
That was the only instance in which I felt shows could come back, was if they were still able to pay people on strike.
Well,
And honestly, I don't agree that, because she's a SAG actress, I don't agree with the fact that she's able to be in another genre, which SAG doesn't cover, which is like journalistic endeavors. And because she has a show, I think if you're a SAG actor, it's your SAG.
It's very complicated because so many actors are producers now and they're writers. Tom Hanks says, I'm in all the unions.
Right.
I'm in the Producers Guild. I'm in WGA. I'm in SAG-AFTRA. You know, he's in all of them.
But if SAG is striking, right?
Right.
Or the DGA or the PGA, let's say one of them is striking, I don't think in any other union he should be working.
I think PGA is golf.
The Producers Guild?
Oh, maybe.
The DGA and the PGA?
But there is a PGA that is golf too.
The PGA Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't come up with the damn anagram.
Okay, so they're sharing anagrams.
That's not my problem.
That must be very confusing in Hollywood if you're a producer.
Oh, you're a golfer?
No, I'm a producer of film. I would love it if our listeners would sometimes ask us questions or correct us. I think that would be really cool.
Oh, like letters to the editor?
Yeah, man, why not?
I wouldn't.
Oh, come on.
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah. It was really funny because we have found out a few people are listening to the show, including your mother and father. And
I don't know if my mom is listening long term, but my dad said he was following it.
And he listened to the first show, and I believe he said you might want to tell Russell to keep some things to himself. You don't have to share everything.
No, evidently, I think on the first show, everybody has a different sensibility.
It was sexual, probably.
Probably we were being sexually inappropriate, which is par for the course.
Exactly.
When you load the show and it says, is it explicit? I always say yes.
Of course it's explicit.
It's going to be explicit.
Life is explicit, folks. It's R-rated, moving into NC-17.
Well, I think life is
Sometimes it's X.
Yeah, most days life is definitely NC-17 at my house. Pump Up the Volume. It's actually on streaming.
It is, yeah.
I don't know how this has happened.
Such a good movie. The soundtrack is unbelievable.
It's a great little movie. Yeah. I mean, it's nostalgic. I don't think someone who's 25 or 18 now would think it was a great movie, but it is. At the end, when Happy Harry Hardon is seize the waves, I think that all has come to pass.
Yes.
Where you don't have to have pirate radio anymore.
Right.
Podcasts. It's not a thing. It's just available. FaceTime Live and...
By the way, folks, Pirate Radio, very disappointing movie. I have a whole story about Pirate Radio. I'll tell you that I was very disappointed.
Well, we loved Pirate Radio when we watched all the deleted scenes.
Yes.
Somehow, some editor was influenced by someone.
And every funny thing,
anything interesting
in Pirate Radio that was interesting or funny,
got cut.
Was in the deleted scenes. Usually, deleted scenes, you're totally
that shouldn't have been in there.
Totally delete that.
We don't need that.
That did not belong in it.
That's
100%.
going nowhere.
But the Pirate Radio deleted scenes are hilarious.
The Pirate Radio deleted scenes are the movie. It's one of the worst.
Yeah.
Films probably ever made because of
good
the cast they had.
Yes.
The story they had.
Yes.
And the shittiness of which it turned out.
Right.
And I don't know if that editor has ever even worked again.
Well, see, this is why you get on IMDb and you check it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you should check that out because if they didn't, it wasn't their fault. Somebody did that.
Yeah.
Maybe a studio came in.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Everything that was edgy, everything that was like R-rated and things like that. That actually happened in the movie L.A. Story, that there's a deleted scene, even though L.A. Story is hilarious. It's a great movie, Steve Martin, awesome. But there's a deleted scene where they say fuck like over and over and over again, and it is hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, it's so good. I'll play it for you.
Is L.A. Story the one where they make the movie? No, that's Bulworth.
No, that's not Bulworth.
What is that? No, what is that?
Okay, Bulworth is the one with Warren Beatty.
No,
okay,
I don't like him.
Okay. Bowfinger. Yes, is the one with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy.
That is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, Bowfinger is great. But L.A. Story...
That's making a movie.
But L.A. Story is the one where God is like the freeway sign. And Steve Martin is like getting messages on the freeway sign.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember this? He actually met his wife, who he had for a very, very long time on that movie.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's a wonderfully romantic. That's okay. Remember you had brought up Richard Grant?
Yeah.
Okay, he's in that, and that's the one where he's like, "What's that banging sound? That's just my damn testicles." The most random thing that somebody could possibly. It's just my damn testicles again. And they never explain why his testicles are banging and making bell sounds.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. But that's Richard Grant that you had brought up.
I love Steve Martin.
Oh, absolutely. I've been watching Only Murders in the Building.
See, I think he's so underplayed.
He is.
And like he's like beyond a straight man. He's like a board. He's like a cardboard cutout of a man.
There's a scene in the latest episode where he does the whole song, this kind of Pirates of Penzance patter song. Mm. It's amazing, and he murders it. It's absolutely great.
Martin Short, like even in like the Father of the Bride movies. I mean,
You heard about the Martin Short controversy, right?
No.
Okay, so a guy with the New Yorker or the Atlantic or somebody, he does an opinion piece. Can we all stop pretending that Martin Short is funny?
What?
He does! And everybody freaks the fuck out about it.
What?
Everybody starts like going on Twitter and going, what the fuck are you talking about? Martin Short is amazing. He's amazing in this and amazing in this and amazing in this. And yeah, this guy just like ripped up Martin Short and he got eviscerated for it.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and he should, because Martin Short is hilarious. And he's a very good actor. If you watch him in like the morning show, when he was like playing the guy that got canceled, oh my God. He's creepy as hell in that.
Well,
so good.
I mean, I understand if you don't like that humor. I get that.
He has the Ed Grimley stuff he did on SNL. But he also has the
Ed Grimley had a cartoon. Do you remember the Ed Grimley cartoon?
Yes, I do. I remember the Ed Grimley cartoon.
I loved Ed Grimley.
What happened on the Ed Grimley cartoon?
I don't even remember.
What adventures did Ed Grimley go on?
I just insisted on watching Ed Grimley.
Oh my God.
I don't remember, but I bet it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I've got to look that up, because I'm imagining it. I wonder if it's like the Mr. T cartoon, where he's like out and he's like solving mysteries or something.
I don't remember. There were topics that I wanted to talk about.
No, there are no more topics, babe. We're done. We're done with topics. Well, we will do it on another show.
You had this whole thing.
I know. I know that whole thing. That's like an important thing. Oh my God.
One thing.
What?
One thing here that I do want you to tell.
What?
Which is the stolen grocery story.
Babe, that is a whole thing. That's a whole setup.
It's funny.
Okay. I will tell the stolen grocery story on the next show.
Don't tell me what to do.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow. Thanks to our sponsor, Movie Mode Merch, comfortable graphic tees made by and for awesome filmmakers to wear on set and off. Check them out on Insta at Movie Mode Merch.